Klaus Schwab. Did you think that 70 some odd years after World War II, the world would be listening to some clown that looks like him and speaks with that thick German accent? It blows my mind that I look at that guy, I think he's a cartoon character.
There is a cartoonish element to all this, and there's even a stupid element to it. But as I read Solzhenitsyn's The Gulag Archipelago, which I'm discussing on my podcast, you see the bureaucratic stupidity of the police state. I mean, they have quotas. At one point, Solzhenitsyn says a group of gypsies showed up and they were asking the police for directions, but the police hadn't filled their quota. So they're like, arrest the gypsies, just throw them in the prison camp. That way we can mark down some more bodies have come in. Our job is done for the day. We can all go back home. So the police state, in the end, is very undiscriminating in who its targets are. It really doesn't care as long as it meets its bureaucratic goals.
You must see this. It's Police State. It's the name of the film, policestatefilm.net. Policestatefilm.net. Go to that website, see the teaser, find a theater, go and watch it in the theater, and then download it on Friday, or see it digitally on Friday when it's available. It's Dinesh D'Souza. You brought up Merrick Garland, and I got to know what you think about this guy. How does he fit in? Is he part of the cabal? Is he a useful idiot? Because for him to sit there in front of Congress and pretend he doesn't know anything and do this weird sniveling sort of weak man act that he does, I don't know who he is. Who is this guy?
He's a kind of a mafia lawyer. I mean, he's the consigliere to the Biden, crime family. And I think he fully understands his role. And he also understands his role is to put on a certain front because, see, our police state is very deceptive. It's not the same as Stalin's police state where they just come and grab you. They don't have to give you any explanations or any reasons. Our police state needs a camouflage. So this guy will go up there and say things like, well, I lost some relatives in the Holocaust, and the lesson I learned from the Nazis is to be very neutral and uphold the law. I think the lesson he learned from the Nazis is the exact opposite, which is that when you target a group of people, in the Nazi case Jews, you dehumanize them, you degrade them, you ostracize them, then it's very easy to incarcerate them and even to exterminate them. He is playing exactly a Nazi-style politics, this time with his political opponents, dehumanizing them, degrading them, and of course seeking to incarcerate them, but all by putting on a kind of a pious manner. So this is a gangster, but it's a gangster who pretends to be a priest.
It's Dinesh D'Souza. Go to policestatefilm.net, and it's in the theaters again. As we do the interview, it's the 24th of October. It's in the theater on the 25th. You could also go on that website and get it on Friday, and I can't wait to see the movie. Are they only successful, Dinesh, in making a police state effective if they divide us? Because this goes back to Obama, which is when this thing all got on steroids. To me, his dividing us by race, by ethnicity, by religion, by politics, that opened the door for the federal government to say, hey, we can control these people if we don't let them talk to each other. Is that a big part of this?
The division is a form of targeting. So it's not just that they benefit from division, it's that they're able to take a group of people and start demonizing them, making them into the subversives and the villains. And see, this becomes a pretext to then call for suspensions of civil liberties and treating these people ultimately as second-class citizens. That's really what's going on here. Really what the Democrats and the left are trying to do is establish a one-party state. Now, even a one-party state by itself is not that bad. FDR had a one-party state from 1932, and the Democrats pretty much had a one-party state until Reagan. But the Democrats weren't gangsterized in the way then that they are now.
And they've also indoctrinated people to the point to where people will say stupid things like, got nothing to hide, what's the problem? Let them come into your house. Let them check your car out. Let them look in your closet. Let them surveil you. You're not a bad guy. Why do you care? What are you hiding? They have 100 million people plus, Dinesh, in this country that will take up for them as they squelch our rights. How did that happen?
Well, that's the tyrannical side, but there's also the other side, which is to say that Republicans, conservatives, patriots, a lot of the January 6 guys, when they were cornered by the FBI, were very happy to talk to them. They're like, I trust the FBI. I'm back the blue all the way. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything to fear. And little did they know that they were falling into a trap. So I think there's now a healthy skepticism of some of these institutions. But the bottom line of it is no, do not have this naive confidence that you can somehow get away with it. Solzhenitsyn even says that when people come to arrest, and this is in the Soviet police state, the first thing that people blurt out is, why me? Like, what did I do?
Right.
How can I clear up this matter? And the answer is there's never any answer to that question. You cannot clear it up. You're on a list. They're out to get you. And so rather than spending your time on the why me, start thinking of ways to resist and roll back the police state.
PlayStateFilm.net. Go to the website. Go check out the teaser. You can also see it in the theater on the 25th of October. You can go to the website and get it on Friday. Dinesh, I appreciate you that you did this. I know you've got to go. Just give me one quick 20 seconds if you don't mind. What exactly is it that you think people will say? You saw it last night. What are they saying as they walk out of the theater? Are they scratching their heads? They couldn't believe it?
I think that people are filled with a combination of, well, there's an enlightenment in the film, but it's also emotionally kind of wrenching. And there actually are some people crying as they leave the theater, crying, not really, but they're crying for what the country has become.
Yes.
You know, I said that this is a scary film, not because I've used major cinematic technique. It's a scary film because it's scary, the things that are happening in this country. And what I do in the film is I bring you up close to them so you can sort of feel the hot breath of the police state on your face.